sports podcast with the youngest, most daring, intrepid, gutsy, fearless host on the planet. Get ready for Jake's Takes. Here's Jake.
Welcome back. I am Jake, and this is Jake's Takes, where I get your favorite athletes and stars to open up and speak what's really on their minds. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because you won't believe the guests I have lined up. Get ready, sports fans, because Jake's Takes is the show you've been waiting for. Today's guest is a veteran defenseman in the NHL. He was drafted in the first round, 20th overall, by the New York Rangers in the 2008 NHL draft, and went on to be named to the NHL All-Rookie team. He also played for the Nashville Predators, the Philadelphia Flyers, the Vancouver Canucks, and the Anaheim Ducks. And of course, in 2019, he achieved the ultimate accomplishment, winning the Stanley Cup with the St. Louis Blues. Currently, he is playing for the Columbus Blue Jackets and off to a stellar start. It is my pleasure to welcome to Jake's Takes Stanley Cup champion Michael Del Zotto. Michael, thanks for your time today. How you doing?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, this is extra special since, I followed your game for a while now. Do you remember when I came to watch you at the BioSteel?
Of course I remember. I remember seeing you coming out of the side door after the games. We had that picture together, and obviously we have a very good mutual friend in David, so of course I remember.
Yeah, awesome. By the way, I'm lucky to join Michael Landsberg and your buddy Carlo Koliakovo on TSN after Leafs games. You gotta give me some dirt on Carlo so I can chirp him. The good stuff, Michael. Give me some content, baby.
It's easy. The best thing to chirp with Carlo is when I played with him in Philadelphia. Whenever we'd be on the road and we have our pregame meal in the ballroom at the hotel, I've never seen a guy get so upset if the romaine lettuce wasn't crisp enough. So next time you talk to him, ask him if the romaine lettuce is crisp enough at home and if his wife is doing a good enough job with the salad, and he'll get a good chuckle out of that.
I'll tell him for sure. We got an exciting show today, so you ready?
I'm ready.
Perfect. So you were drafted 20th overall in the first round by the New York Rangers, one of the most storied franchises in the NHL. Can you tell me about draft night, where you were, what you felt leading up to the draft, and what was it like hearing your name called?
Yeah, it was exciting, stressful, anxious, a lot of mixed emotions. It was in Ottawa. I had my family there with me. I knew I was going in the first round. I thought I was going somewhere in the 10 to 15 range. I had actually interviewed with Boston and Chicago who were in that range, both of whom which told me that they didn't think I would get to them, and if I did, that they would draft me. So when we got to that point of the draft, I assumed that I'd be getting drafted by at least one of those teams, and both of them kind of passed on me. So once that happened, I started to sweat a little bit, and I was getting a little bit nervous. And then when the Rangers were at 20, I didn't really expect much because I only had met with them once, where some of the other teams I had met with, 3 or 4 times. So once my name was called, I was excited, surprised at first, but definitely very excited. As you said, so much history with that franchise and original 16, Madison Square Garden, arguably the most famous arena in the world. So was very, very excited. Having all my family there with me to celebrate made it that much more special.
Man, I am so lucky you didn't get drafted by Boston. I hate Boston.
Would you still be my friend if I was playing in Boston or no?
Yeah, it's not that big. It's not like such a big changer, but I hate Boston. So after the draft, you wasted no time making an impact. You made your NHL debut at age 19, becoming the youngest defenseman in Rangers history to play on an opening night. And then you scored on your first NHL goal on the next night in the Rangers home opener at Madison Square Garden. Was it off the rush or a one-timer on the power play? Tell me about it.
It was in zone. I got a cross-seam pass out of the corner. Their forward came out to block the shot. I shot around him, high gloves. Again, my family was there, which for a lot of my memories, they're extremely supportive and always there through the ups and the downs. But having the whole building chant my name after, and see, they showed my parents on the Jumbotron, seeing my mom cry, overcome with emotion was probably the second best feeling after winning the Stanley Cup, best moment of my career.
So awesome. Very special. Okay, I know you gotta be careful with this next question, so let's see what I can squeeze out of you, Michael. Your first NHL coach was none other than the legend John Tortorella. Torts is loud and never shy to speak his mind. I realize you guys are now reunited in Columbus. But can you tell me what it's like having Tortorella as a coach? What's he like behind closed doors?
So Torts, in my opinion, is probably the most misunderstood person in the hockey world. You guys see, most people that don't get to deal with him one-on-one see, his media rants and going off about this and that. He wears his heart on his sleeve and he wants to win as much as the players, but he cares about the players. And that's one thing people don't understand or don't see is he just wants to win. He's very competitive, but he cares about every individual. He's an amazing human being. Having him 12 years ago in my first year in the NHL for 4 years in New York, I was 19, young, and we definitely butt heads. And, I was pretty stubborn at that age, and I was still learning how to defend and block shots and do all the little things. Understanding what it takes to win on a nightly basis instead of just trying to put up points, which, I was an offensive guy coming in. So we definitely butt heads then, but it's pretty special to now be having him as my coach 12 years later and to see how far we've come, the two of us. He's very different from back then. Less yelling and screaming. It's a different game now with younger players, and not a lot of them can handle the constructive criticism or the tough love, which I appreciate. I'm an old soul, and I appreciate that side. And I've always said Torts has been, my favorite coach to play for. You know where you stand with him at all times. He's honest, and there's not many coaches who will tell you how it is where he does. So again, I'm excited to be reunited with him, and he's made me, the all-around player I am now to this day, and the human being I am to this day. He's taught me a lot of crucial life lessons as well.
I hear ya. Great answer. But whenever my dad is strict with me, I always remind myself, hey, if my dad was Tortorella, I'd be toast. Could you imagine how nuts that would be? I'm not sure how he is at home with his kids. I'm sure he was strict as a father as well. But again, I think as you get older, you appreciate having the morals that your parents teach you at a young age and instill those values that become huge and crucial later on in life. You spent several years with the Rangers, and I gotta ask you about your goalie, the king, Henrik Lundqvist. First and foremost, we all wish him the best with his health. But as a player and a person, can you tell me about King Henrik?
Yeah, he, to this day, is the most competitive teammate I've ever played with. And I think that's what made him, arguably one of, if not the best goalie in the league for as many years as he did it. I've never seen a guy get so upset to be scored on in practice. And the competitive edge he brought in practice pushed everyone else to be that much better too. So he was definitely a leader in that regard. And then the charity work and the work he did with the Garden of Dreams Foundation with Madison Square Garden was and is still outstanding. So he, exactly like you said, he is the king and will always be the king of New York City.
I could be wrong, but I think I remember that the great Mark Messier was an assistant GM with the Rangers. Did you get a chance to meet Messier and learn from it at all?
Yes, I did. He was around quite a bit there. He, as much as the king in New York, Mark Messier is definitely a legend in New York City from their cup run in '94 and him guaranteeing a win and scoring a hat trick. He is the epitome of a leader, and I definitely got to learn a lot from him. And as great of a competitor and player he was also a fantastic human being as well, and always took time out of his day for others and was always there for you if you needed to talk.
Okay, Michael, you know what time it is on Jake's Takes? It's game time! I'll ask you a bunch of short questions, and you answer them as quick as you can. Deal?
Sounds good.
Let's go. Sid the Kid or Alex Ovechkin?
Sid the Kid.
Best goalie in the NHL today?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'll go with Carey Price.
A night out with the boys or Shabbat dinner with Freeds?
How about Shabbat dinner and then a night out with the boys after?
Great answer. Who is scarier on the forecheck? Ryan Reeves or Tom Wilson?
Tom Wilson.
What was your favorite TV show growing up?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Saved by the Bell?
Who will win the Rookie of the Year this year?
Ooh. That's a good question. And that's a tough one because of the 56 game schedule, how the divisions are set up. You stumped me on that one. I don't have an answer for you. Maybe I'm going to go with the kid in Ottawa, possibly, just because he had such a good World Juniors, and maybe he's coming off some confidence then, and he'll do well there.
Power play or penalty kill?
A power play always.
Name a reason you might not respond to a text message.
If it's repetitive, if it's an answer I've already given, then I won't answer.
Most annoying player in the NHL to play against?
Probably Brad Marchand.
We have a winner! Michael Del Zotto! You nailed that rapid fire and ripped that baby top shelf where mama hides the cookies. How'd that feel, Michael?
That felt good. That felt like my first career goal at MSG.
Job well done. I have a couple more questions. Good with you?
Sounds good.
So in 2019, you accomplished your ultimate goal, winning the Stanley Cup. Your team was stacked with offensive talent like Tarasenko and O'Reilly. You probably had the best defense in the league, and your goaltending was off the charts with Binnington playing the way he did. When you lifted the Stanley Cup, describe for me what was going on through your mind. Were you like, please don't drop it, please don't drop it?
No, it definitely wasn't please don't drop it. I think it was relief, excitement, hard work paying off. I think all of the sacrifices that I made from, the moment I started playing hockey at 3 and 4 years old till that point where I was 28 or 29 years old, sorry. All the sacrifices that I made, paid off, and you go through all these different ups and downs in your career and hard work, and sometimes a lot tougher than others, and you find a way to mentally get through it and to be rewarded that way. Made all those sacrifices worth every one of them.
Be honest here. Did you get any messages or phone calls from your teammates or coaches in the past?
After winning the Stanley Cup?
Yeah. Tom, for you, congratulations.
Oh, yeah, of course. So as soon as after we won that game, I think I had like 130 or 140 text messages.
Oh, that's awesome. This question really hits home for me. During COVID-19, you decided to get involved to help young players continue to train. You created Virtual Hockey, a platform that allows kids to train from home, earn points, and collect prizes. It's a great idea that is motivating, fun, and guided by an NHL star, you. Tell me about Virtual Hockey and how will you grow the platform both during COVID and after?
So when COVID first happened, in March, and the season had been paused, I flew back from California to Toronto, and rinks weren't open, gyms weren't open, we weren't allowed to go anywhere, and we didn't know when the season was going to start back up. So I was, looking for ways and kind of stumped on how to stay fit, but not only that, but to keep my hockey skills sharp. So I knew if I was going through that, then I could only imagine what kids of all ages were going through, being stuck inside and not being able to do anything and missing, the game of hockey that they love. So I created virtualhockey.com is the website and the platform. It's an inexpensive, fun way for kids to stay fit, develop their hockey skills, and all while doing that, each workout you're able to collect points. And with those points, you can earn signed NHL memorabilia from your favorite players. So while that's going on, I'm actually set to film some new content next week or the week after, which, we're always updating and increasing the videos on there. We've got some great feedback from all the kids who have joined, but I think your dad can attest to this as well. The best feedback we've got is from the parents. Now with the lockdowns extended, it's been tough to get you kids off the couch and away from the video games and TV. So virtual hockey's been definitely probably a late Christmas present to help with kids or New Year's resolution. And we've gotten great feedback on that, and I'm really happy and excited to hear we're able to help these kids stay active and enjoy hockey, and also being safe from the comfort of their own home.
Great job on that. Last question about the current season. You've been off to a great start, putting up some points early and skating hard like you always have. But everyone heard the rumors about star center Pierre-Luc Dubois requesting a trade out of Columbus, and he got his wish. How excited are you about the addition of Patrik Laine, and what will he add to your team?
Yeah, it was interesting situation having such a young player like Dubois wanting a trade, where he was first-line center, first-line power play here, but that was his wish, and I think things happened a little bit quicker than I was expecting, at least after Torch was planning on healthy scratching him and wasn't happy with his effort and how he was being as a teammate. So a big trade by our GM. Not only Patrik Laine, which I'll talk about in a second, but Jack Roslovic is a great player as well. So I think we definitely got a great return in that trade. And, with Laine here, he scores goals, and that's one thing that we struggle with this team, and our power play has been struggling. So hopefully he can be a huge addition there and help us score a few more goals, which will translate into some more wins.
Michael, I gotta give you major props for joining me, especially since your season is already underway. Not only are you an awesome hockey player, but you're an awesome person too. I hope I can see you in person soon and watch you rip those one-timers like you always have. Thanks again.
Thanks for having me, buddy, and hopefully I can see you this summer when things quiet down, all right?
Sounds sick. Hey guys, you won't believe the guest I have next week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out.